All right. I was going to talk about lenses. Lenses is always a big thing to talk about, right? And for myself, I've got some cinema lenses. I've got some regular photo type lenses. I have all different types of lens mounts. And I think if you're starting out and you're trying to figure out what kind of lenses to buy, get obviously get what you can afford. I rarely buy any new lenses. Even now, I will buy lenses that are used, and there are definitely more reputable places than others to buy lenses, and that can be anything from the big companies like B&H and Adorama. They will at least let you return an item if you're not happy with it. So those are two good places, and they do inspect those lenses before they send them out. Another one is called MPB, and MPB also sells other used gear, cameras and other equipment. So it's a pretty good place to buy gear. Most all of them have a grading system that will tell you, what the quality of the lens is. Is there a scratch on the glass? Is there, does the barrel have issues with it? Anything like that it has a problem with it. Excuse me. They'll let you know that. And anyway, so I would say, as far as the difference between photo lenses, zoom lenses, primes, yeah, there's definitely a difference in quality. If you are starting out, I would recommend buying zoom lenses over prime lenses, mainly because you've got a little bit more room to play with zoom lenses. It's a little bit more cost effective, and they will look fine. And get what you can afford, and also start thinking about what kind of lens mount you might want to have for your lenses, because every camera you buy, if you buy a Sony, they're E mounts. If you buy Canon, they're uh, EF, although that's kind of going away, or RF. And then the higher end cameras are PL mount, and you have L mount from Panasonic. So you got all different kinds of mounts, but um, I would recommend finding, like, if something that's more universal. PL mounts are actually pretty universal because there is an adapter for pretty much every camera type for a PL mount, and that kind of future proofs you so that you can use those, moving forward. You might buy a camera and it already has a lens with it, and that's kind of what you're getting started with. So it's not the end of the world, but think about maybe what kind of lens mount you might want to put on your lenses moving forward. I have mostly EF mount lenses, actually, and I have a couple of PL mount lenses, but not very many. And I have one of my cameras, I've got mounts that are EF or PL. I can swap out the mount on the camera, and I don't have any other adapters yet. So I'm kind of thinking I might start buying some PL mounts. So we'll see. Anyway, um, but yeah, as far as the quality of a lens, and I'm not really going to go much into brands. Obviously, there's the major brands of standard stills types lenses, like Canon and Sony and um, Sigmas, Tamrons, and I think just go with what you can afford. And again, buying used, you're going to go a little bit further with your money than you will if you buy new. And I've not had any issues with any of my used lenses, and I bought some very nice lenses for a very good price. Anyway, then once you get more into it, the other part of it that you want to think about is, depending on the camera that you have, you may need to have something for neutral density, right, on the front of the lens. Yes, they have mounts on the back of the lens, and there are adapters and whatnot. I'm not going to get into that right now, but what I would recommend is, if you're buying a set of standard lenses, buy an ND filter for the largest lens that you have. So say it has an 82 millimeter front diameter, buy an ND filter for that. Then for any of your other lenses that you have that have a smaller diameter, buy a step up ring to that same size, because then you only have to buy one filter. And yes, you have to change them from one to the next, but you'd have to do that with a matte box or any other type of thing as well. And it's a lot more efficient that way than it is to buy an ND filter for every size of lens that you have, and you're going to be spending a lot of money on that. And then as far as neutral density filters, you can buy set filters, so they're just they're not variable, they're just regular ND filters. You can buy those. You can buy variable ND filters. I would recommend buying filters with stops, hard stops. So it might be like a 5 to 7 or a 7 to 9, but not one that goes all the way around in the circle. If you have an ND filter that spins all the way around, you'll see as you spin it around, you start getting this kind of X pattern, and that will show up. If you can see it with your eye and you can see it through your lens, you're definitely going to see it in the image. So that's the thing you need to be wary of with a variable ND. And variable ND is also the quality of those. The cheaper that you buy, the lower the quality, and you can kind of see that. It will definitely give you a color cast. So I would definitely recommend buying a higher quality variable ND filter. Anyway, I think I've chatted enough on this today, and I'm going to let that go. I'm going to see how I can edit this together, and you guys let me know if this is something that you like. I'm mainly doing this because this is the one part of my day that I actually have time to talk. It's in the vehicle while I'm going to or from a shoot. As far as showing what the setup is like on a set, I will try my best to share that, and I'll try and share video if I can. I often don't have that ability because of the type of work that I do, the type of clients that I have. I do a lot of TV shows where I have to sign a non-disclosure agreement, so I'm not allowed to share what I'm doing, and definitely can't post it to social media. And the same with some of my higher-end corporate clients or even commercials I work on. I see a lot of people out there that are posting and sharing, their setups, and that's kind of cool, and I'll do it if I can. And I'll be happy to talk to you about lighting if you want to talk about that. Again, the type of work that I do is I do a lot of documentary work, and I'm kind of hired for my documentary style, and that brings me into a world of documentary television and corporate as well, and commercials. So that's what I do. Peace out.